All right, good evening. We all good with attendance? Looks like it. Oh, I think everybody's here, right? We missing anybody? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Everybody's here, besides Skylar and Avery. And no adjustments to the agenda. I'll entertain a motion for approval of the board minutes. Jody? Don? Any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Good. And communications and correspondence, Laura?
There we go. I'm here tonight to talk to you all about the CACFP, and I understand that some of the board members are new, so I want to go ahead and explain a little bit about the CACFP, which is Child and Adult Care Food Program. If one of our schools is greater than 50% free and reduced, by the law of LD 577, we are required to participate in a CACFP program or opt out annually by the vote of our board. We do have one school, which is our primary school, which does qualify. CACFP would be an evening meal or snack program, and we have historically opted out of participating in that for both logistical and financial reasons. I think during COVID, we really proved that that location over there, we didn't have people going to the site as opposed to if there was a bunch of after-school activities and stuff. We do currently, with the 21st Century program, provide a snack for that program for those students over there. So we are doing that, but it doesn't qualify under this provision. So I'm here tonight to answer any questions that you might have about this and to ask you to vote, hopefully to opt out of participation in that for this fiscal year.
Okay. Any questions for Laura? Yeah? Tina?
Thanks for coming to us with this. Can you tell me, when you say logistical and financial reasons, what do the finances there look like? What would that look like for
Well,
us?
it would require a staff person to be there because these meals have to be served on site and consumed on site. So we would need, staffing to be there. And that's, a lot to ask for that school,
How many hours are you looking at?
I think,
If you don't know, that's okay.
I don't know exactly how you would, gauge it, whether it would be from like 2 hours in the evening that would be, available. Then you'd have your prep time and you'd have your heating and you'd have your cleanup time, versus during COVID, we literally had 2 meals that went out of the air. And primarily it was 1 meal, 1 student, and that was it. During that whole shutdown, the location of that building makes it rather problematic for, I think, a lot of families. If we had a location that was, downtown, it might be different, where there was activities and students where they could walk to. But
Okay, thank you, I
that-
appreciate the
those are my
information.
concerns, the
Yep.
cost.
Any other questions? Oh,
Mhm.
go, Don.
Don't all the students down there get free meals anyways now?
Mhm. This would be an evening.
I know that they would qualify.
Well,
Just curious.
and that's a legitimate question. The way our National School Lunch Program, we're participating in a special provision too, and that's a 4-year cycle. So on that first year, we did collect the applications and the data that we used is the same data that we have for the next 3 years. And we are in our 3rd year of that cycle currently. And then after, we'll do 1 more year, and then we'll have to go back and collect data again. And it's a percentage. So when we do all of our claiming, and that's one of the things that we have to do is, in our high school and our middle school, we have pins, 4-digit pins, and it identifies the students. In our younger buildings, there's no chance of a student having 2 meals, so we do a different record-keeping method there.
Okay. Any other questions? All right, I'd entertain a motion for RSU 73 to opt out of the CACFP for fiscal year 2024-25. Dawn Strout and, what's your name again? Holly. Any discussion? Okay, roll call. Thank you. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
Dawn Stroud? Yes. Andrew?
Yes.
Tina? Brian?
No public comments.
Polly? Yes. Roger?
Yes.
Michelle?
Yes.
Sarah? Elaine?
Yes.
Jody? Yes. Lena? Yes. Danielle? Yes. Don Emery?
Yes. All right, and I'm going to open it up to school board comments, school board member comments, just real quick to clarify, just in case there was a little confusion last time. This is the time, we usually have the students give their comments first, and then it's opened up for any school board members to give comments. Are there any school board member comments? You got it.
I just wanted to share an article I saw in the paper the other day that seems very timely. It came from the governor's office about announcing Education Week in Maine. And the governor said, especially I urge our people to cultivate a spirit of tolerance and understanding of others. Only if we do this, especially of the peoples of foreign nations, shall we fulfill our destiny as the greatest Christian nation. Education is the foundation of true progress. The horizon of the illiterate man is narrow and limited, while that of the educated is almost boundless. The greatest cause of all, that of world peace, is inseparably connected with that of education. When the people of different nations learn of the environment, history, and aspiration of others, and when they come to an understanding of them, most of the points of friction that produce conflict will have been eliminated. War thrives on ignorance and jealousy. Peace comes from knowledge. This came from Governor Baxter 100 years ago. And it's just a reminder of how timely education is, as it was then, as it is now. We need to keep pursuing that to have a better society and a better world.
Thank you, Andrew. Any other board comments? Jody?
I just want to let everybody know, in case they didn't, that a senior, Jace Bessie, reached a phenomenal goal on Monday night of reaching 1,000 points on our varsity boys basketball team, and a huge congratulations to him.
Nice. Any other board member comments? All right, seeing none. Scott? There you go.
Thank you. Good evening. I attended a Foster Tech Advisory Committee meeting in the past month. Got to read to a pre-K class this week. That's one of my favorite things. Attended a webinar put on by the American Association of School Administrators on anonymous threat mitigation. Attended the District Safety Committee meeting led by our SRO and Facilities Director Ken Vining. I had a meeting with Robin Raymond, bless you, had a meeting with Robin Raymond, Galen Dalrymple to discuss the plan for adult ed and the CDL program. I met with council to discuss the ramifications of the new Maine paid family leave law. I met with district counselors and Melissa Chase from Kennebec Behavioral Services to discuss how we can extend more mental health services to the students that are in need of it, including our 16 through 20-year-olds at the Adult Ed Center. And I also attended the monthly Western Maine Superintendent's meeting. We discussed issues with getting teachers certified across the state, as well as the implications of the new Maine paid family leave law.
Thank you. Any questions for Scott? Oh, of course.
Did Kennebec Mental Health have some ideas for the adult ed students?
Yeah, we're looking at possibly sharing what we have at the moment, and they're looking at also bringing on another person live. We do telehealth. The middle school and high school does telehealth through Kennebec Health Services. The primary school and elementary school actually have a person live. They're looking at bringing on a person live for the middle school and high school, which would also go to the 16 and 20-year-olds over at the adult ed program.
Any other questions for Scott? Okay, and administrative reports. Christopher. Bless you.
All right. Good evening. We'll start off with the enrollment. The middle school has an enrollment right now of 298. On November 8th, we had our Veterans Day Assembly, and they announced our Patriot Pen winners. For the second year in a row, Landon Anthony won the district, and we're moving on to the state level, so we want to wish him the best of luck in January on the state level. In that afternoon, we had our annual walkathon event, and we raised just over $4,000 for our school-wide activities. On November 15th, we had our Student of the Month Phoenix Award Assembly, and we had a great parent turnout. It's really nice getting them back in and being more involved with the students and their activities. On Friday, December 6th, we had the second half of our 8th graders attend Foster Tech and participate in the morning activities. They each have 2 more rounds throughout the year, but it's really nice to hear how respectful and well-behaved our kids are when they call and give us compliments. It's something we should hang our hat on. We'll be sending out our first trimester report cards home tomorrow. Also, tomorrow morning, we have Jason Tardy coming to speak to our student body about anti-bullying and becoming an upstander. This Saturday, if you have nothing to do, which I'm hoping you're going to make plans, come to our craft fair here from 9 to 2. We're going to have over 70 vendors here. We also have a lot of kids' activities. We have a really, really, really good Santa that's going to be having their photos taken with the kids. So please come out. And for behavior data, last year at the end of the first trimester, we had 60 out-of-school suspensions and 21 in-school suspensions. This year at the end of our first trimester, we have 21 out-of-school suspensions and 12 in-school.
All right, any questions for Christopher? Thank you.
Thank you.
And TJ.
Good evening. Start with enrollment. Enrollment at the high school is 417. I was going to announce Jace's 1,000 points. Thank you very much. It was a great night, and the 2 nights that we had for basketball, the amount of fans that were there was just really nice to see. So basketball started. It is a whirlwind once it starts. Please come out and be a part of it. We have a band concert tonight. I'm going to leave after this to go to it. It starts at 6:30. The guidance department, I kind of want to go over a little bit about what the guidance department's been doing lately. They have been doing field trips to colleges. They have been doing field trips to Foster Tech Center. The FAFSA night stuff that's been going on. It's pretty important for our seniors and also getting ready for our juniors that are coming up. College acceptance letters are being brought in. I hope to be able to give you at our next meeting a list of all those. I'm going to just hand you where kids are going. That way you can see what places they've chosen. And that goes all the way until, mid-April to May. So I'll try to keep you guys abreast with that. We also have the military comes in on a regular basis. The guidance department organizes all this type of stuff, and we have colleges that come in and meet with our students. There's a lot going on right now. And it's just really nice to see a guidance department work well with one another and with our students. So the next time you see them, say thanks to them. It's a busy time of year for them. We have the theater show that's happening this weekend. Friday night, Saturday, we're going to have 2 shows. It is Mean Girls. So it's supposed to be really funny and get some really good actors in there. Some first-timers that you're going to be shocked about when you see them. You're like, oh my goodness, they actually do act, and it's pretty cool to watch. I get a kick out of it every time. They didn't ask me to be in it. I was in the Footloose one. I didn't do very good. I can remember my lines, so they said no to me. But that's okay. The information that you have right here, which is, it's color here, right? But it's dark on yours. If you look, last year we didn't do any, for the first quarter, we didn't do any in-school suspensions. This year we did. Overall, and I like to look at the total number of days of suspension, if you look way over to the right, we are less on the total number of days suspensions. However, we are a little more, 11 more total suspensions for the year, for that quarter. It was a tough first quarter. I will tell you, it was a tough one. Kids are making some good changes. Hope to see that come lower down as we go forward in this school year. I do want to go over some of our awards that we had. We have a quarter of the month, student quarter of the month, student of the quarter, and we have upperclassmen and underclassmen. Underclassmen this quarter was Linda Lake. Upperclassmen was Lily Fortier. Then we do Phoenix Awards, underclassmen and upperclassmen. So we have underclassman Landon Hatch. He is a Phoenix Award winner. Another underclassman Phoenix Award winner is Jason LaGrange. The upperclassmen Phoenix Awards are Nevaeh Fournier and Jason Longley. Just pretty proud of these students. You should have also seen the honor roll in the paper over the past week and a half. Those kids are making some gains, and it's just really encouraging to me to see our kids doing so well. So, yep, that's all I have.
All right. Any questions for TJ? Thank you, TJ.
Thank you.
All right, Pat.
Good evening. I just want to say before I start, it was way warmer in California when I was there last week. I feel like I haven't been up here in ages. So we'll start off Veterans Lunch. We had 46 veterans came to the elementary school and enjoyed lunch with a family member. I don't know if it's a coincidence, but it always seems that that's the best behaved they are in the lunchroom when you have all those veterans in there. But the kids love it, and the kids love talking to the veterans and asking them questions. So it's always a fun time, and glad to be back doing things that we used to do before COVID. We had the dental van. We had 65 students who received services from the dental van, which is good, and they give them all toothbrushes, toothpaste, all that good stuff, and teach them how to use that. Our holiday concert is Monday at 6 here, if you have nothing to do. 3rd, 4th, and 5th, they'll be tearing it up on stage. Ornament night, we have ornament night. Tuesday, the 17th, we'll be at the elementary school from 6 to 7. It's another one of those traditions that we used to do all the time before, and we're getting back into those things. Chris had talked about it. We're doing the anti-bullying presentation. He invited us up. We'll come up tomorrow after his presentation. So 3rd, 4th, and 5th can also be part of that. Behavior numbers. Right now, as of today, we've had 180 majors, 242 minors, and 39 suspensions. And enrollment, last time I was in front of you, we had 307, and today we have 305.
Good.
Question? Yes, ma'am? Monday,
6.
it's at 6.
All right, any questions for Pat?
Yes.
Nope, here we go, Elaine.
Thank you. How does that compare? I like, TJ, that I really appreciate the reporting, first of all, and secondly, I like the comparison year to year. How is this year stacking up against last year?
More behaviors. Last year we had 57 total suspensions. This year, as of today, we're at 39. Wow. I don't know about
Still got
that.
some time to go.
We still got the whole year, 57. Yeah, right now we're at 39. I mean, it has slowed down. I mean, we added that. What's that? I mean, it has slowed down. We did hire a new person to work in the behavior room, and she's been able to go into classrooms and help kids and get them on track and help them do the things that they need to do to be successful. So that is working. We just have some students that are making poor decisions, and we're still plugging away at that, helping them, follow what we want as being respectful, responsible, safe, and kind. So we'll keep plugging away. That's all right.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Darcy.
Good evening. So enrollment is 331 at the primary school. Last year for behavior, we had, and this is, of course, I'm going with panorama from the data that I pulled last year from that program, 4 in-school suspensions total and 7 out-of-school suspensions. So far, I've had 8 in school and 2 out of school. And the 2 out of school would have been in school. I just didn't have enough staff to support that. So that was my behavior data. We had our first lockdown drill this year, and I have to just give a shout out because Anthony and I walked the building during the lockdown and wrote down a list of safety concerns and maintenance, and Ernie had it completely taken care of by the end of the week. And so it really goes to show that they really care about the safety of our staff and students. And so a huge shout out to them. Our intercom system wasn't quite working well in the classroom, so like a teacher didn't hear the lockdown. It's all taken care of, so it's good to really practice that. The families were really appreciative that I gave them a heads up to be able to have those conversations with their kids at home as to even why, because our little kids, they don't understand that. And so just how it kind of rolled out it went really well. We're having another one tomorrow that is going to be unannounced. They know it's happening, they just don't know when, so we can kind of mitigate anything that might be that happens during then. We are having our family night tonight. It was scheduled for Tuesday, but with the after-school activities canceled, they had to reschedule it for tonight. So that's happening now. We have Santa there and the milk and cookies, and staff are reading to the students, and then they get to make an ornament to take home and put on their own tree at home. So another just good tradition that we're getting those families back into school. It's our second one this year. Last one was well attended. My family involvement committee are already planning all kinds for after the new year and are really jazzed and excited to get families involved in the school. So that was that. We have a grant. Susan Wiles and Jennifer Beckler wrote a grant and got $1,500 for our outdoor learning committee. So we're really excited to be able, they're hoping to do a zero waste composting that will help the elementary school gardens and do that. So we're working on how we can utilize that money the best. Last week, I sent home 40 letters to parents of students who are chronically absent. 16 truancy letters went home, so we're working really hard, my attendance committee, on improving our attendance, and I think it's really important that parents and families are informed about the law and why it's important. I also was able to screenshot their attendance so they could visually see it, as well as the tardies, because we do have a lot of kids coming in late and how that can impact their routine and schedules. So the attendance committee and I are working really hard on improving attendance as well.
Very good. Any questions for Darcy? Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, board chair report. I don't have much. Oh, sorry. I don't have to get back over here. I apologize. I apologize.
This is my least favorite part of my job. Okay. I hate talking in front of adults. I could do it in front of kids all day long. But so currently in special education, we have 347 students. This is a decrease of 9 since my last report. This does include 22 referrals to special education services that are in progress across the district. In the primary school, there are 69 students with IEPs. That's down one. 82 students at the elementary school, which is down 3. The middle school, for the third report in a row, is at 85, and the high school has 111 students, which is down 5. We have 13 students out of district, and the last time I reported it was 15. We had 2 families relocate, so those tuitions became the responsibility of the receiving district. We have had at least one IEP team determine that its student's needs are not being met appropriately here at RSU73, and the application process for out-of-district placement is in process. Placement depends on the time that it takes to complete the application, as well as what that wait list looks like. Current special education staff openings. Hopefully we won't have any more teacher openings after tonight. We have one EdTech 1 open at the primary school, an EdTech 1 open at the high school, and an EdTech 2 open at the middle school. And lastly, for those of you that are not aware, we have an obligation to have staff trained in de-escalation and restraint in accordance with Maine Chapter 33 law. Our district has been using safety care for the last several years, and we currently have 66 certified safety care specialists for de-escalation strategies in our district. And there are a handful, I think 12, that are restraint trained, but that is used only when it's imminent safety risk. Behavior has been a continued concern throughout the district, as we all know, right? And we would love to have more people trained. Previously, our district trainers were restricted to training 10 people at one time for de-escalation and or restraint training. To be a certified specialist, this continues to be true. However, we recently learned that QBS Global, which is the company that oversees safety care training, has come out with a new training called Safety Care Basics. So we found, that they've created this overview of de-escalation strategies that is not limited to a certain number of participants. So we can we can have this training with the entire staff, which is very exciting. Though participants won't earn a certification, they will learn some very important techniques to prevent, address, and de-escalate behaviors, as well as how to process those behaviors after. And we hope to provide this during the March workshop days.
Very good. Any questions for Sherry? Thank you. And now, if there isn't anybody else, school board chair report. I wanted the board to know I'm in communication with Steve Bailey. He is the president of MSBA, the Maine School Board Association, about having him coming in and do some training with us. So if there's any topics that you'd like maybe for him to cover on training school boards, please get with me, and I'll mention that to him in my next communication with him. I am also excited for tomorrow to see Mean Girls. I got my tickets. I'm bringing my daughter. It's her birthday, so it's going to be a good time, but I want to really try to encourage people to get out and see our students doing their thing up on stage. All right, I don't believe we have any committee reports. And on to policy, I would entertain a motion to approve the second and final reading of the listed policies. Elaine and Jody, thank you. Any questions or discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. All right, and if there is no unfinished business, we'll move on. Oh, sorry. Oh, what's that now?
Have to do the first reading of that one. We did second reading of all these, this is the first reading of that.
Okay, so what do I do?
Same thing, you need a motion to have the first reading.
Oh, I'll entertain a motion for a first reading of the ACAB policy. Holly and Elaine. Any questions? Tina?
I just want to make sure that everybody is aware of the reason for this policy and just take note of what it contains. It's a required policy. We're very much on rails with this. We can't, it's harassment and sexual harassment of employees, and it's tailored very closely to state and federal law, so there's really nothing more than boilerplate language to it. But I do think it's important that people understand what we're voting on. This is the first reading. You'll have the time between now and the next meeting, of course, to read it over, as always with any of those policies. And any comments or concerns or anything should be brought to the attention of either Dawn as the board chair or me as the policy committee chair.
Amen, thank you. Any other questions or comments? All right, roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Catch that. Hold on.
Yes.
Yes. All right, if there isn't any unfinished business, we'll move on to new business. I would entertain a motion for the school board to keep the substitute pay the same as it currently is through June 30th, 2025. Holly and Jody. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. All right, and at this time, we will go into executive session to discuss a personal matter pursuant to 1 MRSA. Okay. Oh. Oh.
I second it.
Thank you. I'm still Greenhorn, right? Do I still have Greenhorn status? We had a first and a second.
Yeah, I second.
Is there any discussion on that? Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 A resounding yes. All right, we're going into executive session at 6:30. All right, and out of executive session at 7:41. 6:41. I'm just checking. Make sure you're all on your toes.
Andrew was here earlier, threw everything off.
Yes, that's true. Andrew, it's all your fault.
I'm not surprised.
What else is new? All right, so just go right into the, all right. I entertain a motion to hire Hattie Dutton for social studies teacher. Elaine and Jody, any discussion? Roll call, please. What's that?
Oh, you're gonna raise hands.
Oh, let's do it, yeah.
we pass
By a
the
show of hands. To agree. To agree. Very good. That should be universal. Yep. Thank you. Wow. It's all new. Every day is his first day. Anyways, and then who's next? Special education. Entertain a motion to hire Paula Pratt in the position of special education. Don and Michelle Moffett. Any discussion? Raise your hand if you're in the affirmative. Yeah, okay. Okay. And I'll entertain a motion to hire Emma Hickson to first grade teacher. Holly and Danielle. Any discussion? And please raise your hand in the affirmative. And seeing no negatives, thank you. That's it, huh? That's it. You've got your co-curricular appointments, retirements and resignations. Seeing no other business, I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Tina and Elaine, and raise your hand if you are in the affirmative. All right, thank you.